You're unmuted, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's picking up audio down there, you can tell.
Oh, I just.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Let it be noted that all 8 current members of the board are present. Number 2, executive session announcements. There was an executive session of the school board held on Tuesday, January 7th to discuss personnel. Number 3, public comment. Is there anyone, do we go online first or here first? Anyone here for public comment? First public comment is just pertaining to agenda items. Anyone? Anyone online? No? No public comment, so we will move to our first presentation, which is the pre-K count update with Terry Kohler. Terry?
Good evening, everybody. I was asked to prepare a bit of an update for everybody regarding how we're doing with our pre-K counts program. So I'm just going to share some things with you, and if you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them. So, Chrissy, if you could go to the next slide. So our classroom composition, right now our class is at capacity. We have 20 students. All of the students are Pottsgrove students. And of those students, 10 will be attending kindergarten this coming school year for 25-26. 2 of them will go to West, 8 will go to Ringing Rocks. And we already have, in fact, we just had somebody today, we are already having interest in slots for next year for families that are looking to enroll their students for the next school year. So we're really excited about that. So that will start this spring. I'm hoping to put things out when we put out our kindergarten registration information. I thought that would be a really good time to really start marketing this too. So that's where we are right now with our students. And in the next slide, I'll tell you a little bit about our staff. So right now, if you can go to the next one, Chrissy, thank you. We have 1 full-time certified teacher, Shanna Wyand. She came to us from Play and Learn in the Lansdale area. She's been teaching pre-K counts for the last several years, so we were really excited to have her join the team. We have 1 full-time classroom student who is a Pottsgrove graduate, and we're proud to say she's going to start going for her Child Development Associates certificate in the near future, so we're really proud of her and the work she's doing. And we do make use of 1 full-time building sub when we're there. I'm not always there, so some of the things, the rules and policies for pre-K are a little different. So we have to have 1 adult to every 10 students at all times. So it's helpful having that 3rd person there in case somebody has to step out, use the restroom, etc., deal with the student. So that's why we have that 3rd person there on the days that I can't be there, whether I'm covering in another building, or things like that. So that's kind of where we are with staffing. I am the administrative staff. I work with the YWCA program people in making sure, you know, that partnership is working and that we're getting what we need from them and they're getting what they need from us. I also do a lot of interacting with our families for different things and working also just to making sure our staff have everything that they need. So I'm kind of, you know, those of you that know me well. I'm in it and I'm on the floor and I'm on the van and I'm, you know, doing whatever I need to do to help support the program when we're there. So that's a little bit about our staff. And a typical day in pre-K, and I can't read this from here, so I'm going to do my best. Our program day is 5 hours. The students start arriving around 8:15 actually. We do have transportation that the YWCA provides. With that, we can only transport 8 students on the van at any given time. So we have multiple van runs to make sure all of our students that need transportation can get there. Right now, only 3 of our students are parent drop-off. So we have a pretty creative van schedule that I put together to make sure we can get all the kiddos there. So they come in from the van. While we're waiting for all of the kids to arrive, there's a variety of different activities set up for the students. One of the things, and you'll see more about this in another slide, the students sign in. And what that is they basically practice writing their name. They trace their name. We work with that every day, making sure they know the letters and all of those kinds of things. So we have that pre-writing piece built in there. Once everybody arrives, the students have breakfast. So they're served breakfast, a full lunch, and a snack every day, and that is provided by the YWCA as part of their portion of the Pre-K Counts grant. After breakfast, we move into circle time, and we have some, you know, greeting rituals and different songs and things that we do. We review our commitments for the day, that we're going to use our walking feet and use our listening ears and all of those things. After circle time, we move into centers. And we've changed our centers a little bit. One of the things that you'll see and hear mostly about a pre-K program is, yes, we're getting the children ready to attend kindergarten. But if you think about it, most of the things that the students really need to be ready for kindergarten aren't knowing their letters, knowing their numbers, it's that, can I sit and listen to a story? Can I follow directions being given to me by an adult? Can I interact with my peers in a positive manner? So a lot of what we do might look like play to the outsider, but it really isn't very much not play as far as how we're monitoring the students, helping them work through their situations. But what we are also doing is with our centers, the students might be working in one center doing patterns, or we'll do a lot of art activities. We'll do a lot of pre-writing activities. One of the things that they're doing now is they've started these journals since we came back from break. This young lady was not here today, so I borrowed hers. So it's my first journal. And one of the centers is our teacher works with the students and they practice writing their name and doing different, and she does different things with them. So then at the end of the school year, these will be a really fun record for the parents to have of how their students, you know, progressed over the second half of the year. So we are doing those pre-writing things, letter recognition, all of that. It's all kind of built into everything we do throughout the day. After centers, we go to gross motor play. Right now we're using the gym at the YWCA. It's just too cold to take the little ones outside. But we do have an outside area that we use when the weather is nicer, that's available to us too at the YWCA. After gym time, we come in, we have our lunch. Lunch is family style. Actually, all the meals are family style, and you haven't lived till till you've done family style with 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. And the food is really, it's pretty good quality food. Yesterday we had beef stew. It was delicious, and I did go home with some of it on me. But it's all part of the, it's all part of the fun day. But the students do serve themselves, and they're getting much better than they were at the beginning of the year. But so that's lunch, and lunch takes about, depending on what we have, a half an hour, 40 minutes. We do engage the children in helping us clean up. So at the end, they have to take their plates and do all of that, and then we get them to help us clean the tables and all of that. And then because we're a full-day program, we are required to have nap time. So there's an hour set aside for nap time. Not all of the children nap, but we have some things in place to support those students who don't nap. A lot of them do, but there's a couple that they just don't, and that's okay. But earlier in the year, and I know Anne Marie was there, so she would know, nap time could be a little stressful. But the students have the routine and everything now, so we do that for an hour. After nap time, the students help put away all of their things, and then we have snack. And then we will oftentimes at that point engage in other kinds of, we might read a story, we might review something we did earlier in the day. They love the Danny Go on Go Noodle and the different things. And so there's a lot of, we do a lot of that at the end of the day. And then our first group of students leaves a little before 3. And then that's how we wrap up our day. So that's a pretty typical day for us. Chrissy, if you want to go to the next slide. So some of the things you might see, the children signing in, and you can see there, it's a traceable, and we use dry erase markers, and the kids practice every day. And the teacher, reviews how to do the letter, but then the kids say the letter and all of that stuff. So even our little ones now can cite the letters and all of their whole name. So just an aside, our youngest student turned 3 in mid-August. Our oldest student turned 5 in early September. So we have a pretty broad range of students that we're working with in the program. So the sign-in happens, and then we've been doing some investigations for science with them. Last Friday, our teacher froze water in balloons, and then had the kids explore with that and do different things. There's some pictures there from that. We do the daily journal writing with the students as well. So those are just some of the more specific things, but there's a lot that happens in the course of our day. This is just an aside. We use the creative curriculum, which is an approved curriculum from the state for the pre-K counts program. It is very much play-based and social-emotional based, but then we've added some more of our own things to it. Chrissy, yep, and supports. So we are being supported in the following ways. So the Tri-County YWCA, EEC, their Early Education Center, staff supports us. They've had some changes in their staff, and we're working with the new staff, and things are going fairly well there. We also get support from OCDEL. So if you're not familiar, early childhood in Pennsylvania is kind of split between PDE and Health and Human Services. So the Office of Child Development and Early Learning kind of is who oversees all of the pre-K and all of the grants. So we do work with them. We have a specialist from the Berks County IU who comes out and meets with us and visits the classroom. So we get support there from the state. Our PGSD leadership has been amazing. I meet with Dr. Finnerty, Dr. Lucas, and Mr. Voris monthly to go over how things are going. Mrs. Thompson's been very helpful with some of the staffing things. So we are continually working together as a team. And then just a brag point, right before Christmas, actually around Thanksgiving, I got word from the YWCA staff that they were told by Toys for Tots that they would not be able to support them with their toy drive this year for the holiday party for the YW, which was a huge hit for them. So I was working with the YW staff and I said, well, you need toys? I'll get you toys. So I reached out, excuse me, to Mr. Ansbach and Mrs. Wagner. Tiffany is our elementary social worker, and I said, can we do a toy drive? So you might be familiar, the 2 weeks right after Thanksgiving, we did one. And unbeknownst to me, one of our high school basketball players approached Mr. Ansbach wanting to do something too. So our boys and girls basketball teams took that on. And it was an amazing, and it's honestly, it saved the day. The YW couldn't believe what we were able to provide. And it made for a really wonderful holiday party for the students, of which in the bottom picture, some of our former students came back and helped as elves as well. But it was a really great opportunity to show that Pottsgrove is here and we're willing to partner with you guys. So it was a really big plus for us. And then finally, looking forward. So what is, we will continue to maintain our partnership with the YWCA. As you may recall, they have their own class, we have the class. Right now our class is full. They've had some challenges with some things with their class. We are hoping to maintain that for next year until we're able to reapply for the grant, which will be in, I believe, 2028. So we're hoping to continue that. It would be really great if this could be on site in a Pottsgrove building next year. It would just, for supports and things for the staff, it would be really helpful for us. So that's just a little bit about our pre-K program, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Well, Mr. Lappick, that's a really good question. So one of the factors we do know is that programs that are already in existence do stand a better chance of getting the grant when it comes back around. So that is one of our goals of this partnership. So I don't know necessarily having it on site. I think it would help because it would show our capacity to operate the program in a positive way. Mm-hmm.
That is a challenge. So, and thank you, Terry, for the presentation. One of the things Terry talked about is the ratio. We had the 10-to-1 ratio. So we have to have, if we have 11 kids there, we need 2 adults. If somebody needs a bathroom break or something like that, we need to cover that. So that is much easier to do if it's on site with staff in the building.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, Dr. Finnerty, thank you for bringing that up. Because of the way the partnership agreement is, YWCA staff cannot provide the ratio coverage for our class. So that's where the challenge is. It has to be Pottsgrove staff that are there to make sure we're in ratio. And that's one of the reasons why we've had to work through this, because that was not necessarily something we knew right off the bat at the beginning, but we've been able to work through that.
Terry, we thank you for all you've done to get this program started and off the ground and fully enrolled, I should say. Many people, as they look towards their retirement, start ramping down. You've ramped up. And that's to your credit. I think that the work that you have done, this has touched your heart, it's touched your passion, and it will add to the legacy you leave for this district. We thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's not always easy, but I do love what I do. And people ask me if I've started counting down the days, and I said, no, I still like what I'm doing. So thank you. And it's been my pleasure to do this. It is something I wanted to do when I was at West years ago. And so to be able to do that this year, it was really kind of a dream come true. But thank you for your kind words.
This moves us to agenda item 5, our student representative report with Cecilia and Adam.
How about you do cover, and then
So, hi, sorry for my absence. I've been very busy with cheer, and we had a game actually the same day as the meeting last month, so that was why I wasn't here. However, this Friday, January 17th, is Pottsgrove High School's 69th Annual Color Day, which is a very prized and cherished tradition here. It's one of our biggest events as a school. It involves athletic and academic competitions, and as well as musical performances, so there's an event for every kid. There's not only just athletic competitions. The theme this year is Gratitude is the Attitude. And the grade themes are basically, they're based off occupations. So the seniors are soldiers, and the juniors are the Justice League. Sophomores are security, and the freshmen are firefighters.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I'd like to thank everyone that's been working on our banners so tirelessly. They've been at it for probably like 2 weeks now, and they're all doing a really good job, so I'm excited to see that. As well, T-shirts. So they used to only be printed for the seniors, but underclassmen and us juniors have been doing that recently as well. So it seems to be at least like a growing tradition throughout the grades where everyone's doing it now. We do have different T-shirt providers, though, I believe. So prices are like irregular among grades. So I don't know if there's like anything to go off of there, but yeah, I've noticed that.
As you all probably have heard, our chamber choir won the B101 Christmas Choir Competition. This group of singers got the opportunity to open for the Trans-Siberian Orchestra on their The Lost Christmas Eve tour at the Wells Fargo Center on December 22nd. This group also won $5,000 towards their music department, so that was a great achievement for them. This year, the musical is Fiddler on the Roof, which is an award-winning stage musical and film about the universal themes of tradition and change, based on a Jewish village in Eastern Europe. We cannot wait to see them shine on the stage. For more updates about the musical, make sure you follow PGHS Theater on Instagram. They post stories and updates on choreography and dances every day. Our varsity basketball team has had truly a remarkable season. They are currently 11-2, which is 11 wins to 2 losses as of January 9th. They're truly amazing, and they're really working together this year, which is great to see, not only as a cheerleader, but as a fan of and friend of many of the people on the team.
Yeah, and then I interviewed one of the players, Kamal Curry, and this is a quote from him from January 9th. They won a game in between now and then, so they're doing real good. We're 10-2 at the moment, and we play Boyertown today and Sun Valley this weekend. The season has been looking real good for us with a lot of positive things. Most players are healthy and mentally strong. We have lost twice, but we always bounce back and come back together as a team. Our goal as a team is to win the Final Six, win districts, and make it to states. And from what I'm seeing, looks like they'll do it.
Yeah,
so, good job.
If you are interested in watching them play, we have a big game on January 30th, which is our senior night. It's home, and it's against Pottstown. We won against them this year, which was a big milestone for us. We also won against Sun Valley, which was a tight game. It was this past weekend on Saturday, and they are playing PJP tonight. Our varsity cheer team is traveling to PJP on February 2nd to compete in a game day invitational. We haven't done this in the past years. We got new signs. We are doing complete choreography, which is a 3-minute long cheer with multiple dances in it. We encourage people to come watch and see what it's all about. My closing message is to just good luck to all the students taking midterms this week. And if anyone watching needs the times, so social studies and science are tomorrow. Social studies is first at 7:30 a.m. And then Thursday, January 16th, is English and math, and English will be first, which is again at 7:30. And have fun at Color Day. That's all I have to say.
All right, and then one more thing, and then just a quick reminder to my debate club members. Freeze Day was held on January 3rd, and I'm unaware of how much we earned through the donations, but the game was a lot of fun, and most classes were stalled, so that was pretty great. And just to my debate members out there, We have a meeting Wednesday, January 22nd, so next Wednesday. Just a reminder.
Explain what Freeze Day is.
Freeze Day? Oh, yeah. Freeze Day, sorry, back to this. Freeze Day is an event where you donate money or like coins, and they have to be counted for time. So whatever amount that you donate, $1 a minute. And kids can freeze them in ice. They can tape them in pieces of tape. That's the longest taking one. If you put it in between two pieces of tape,
Yeah.
it takes forever. But the whole point is students will donate money to charity, and then
basically skip class time.
yeah, to skip class time. And it's a lot of fun. So we appreciate that you guys have that.
Yeah.
So thank you.
That's all.
Cecilia and Adam, thank you. Any questions for either of our student representatives? Moves us to agenda item number 6, report from the superintendent. Dr. Finnerty?
Good evening, everyone. I have 3 items I'd like to talk about. First, School Director Recognition Month. January 2025 is School Director Recognition Month. On behalf of the entire district, I'd like to thank each of you for your service and your commitment to improving student outcomes. Board members are unpaid volunteers and put in many hours to help Pottsgrove continue to be the best place to teach and learn. At your station, you will notice that our elementary students have once again shared a few small tokens of their appreciation. So please take an opportunity to look through those. Second thing is our Power School transition. This has been largely invisible to our community, but it's been a ton of work internally. As been shared at these meetings, the district has been working to update software used by our business, human resources, and technology departments. Over the winter break, the team completed a migration of our payroll system to our new system. While many of us were enjoying a well-deserved break, the team was hard at work making sure the migration was successful, and I would like to congratulate the entire team on an incredible job. And especially, I'd like to call attention to our payroll specialist, Stacy Villanueva-Guerra, our data and integration specialist, Caitlin Zieber, and our interim business manager, Zach Trump. They put in 4.5 days of all-day Zoom meetings together to make this happen, and it was an unmitigated success. They did a fantastic job, so thank you. And lastly, we do have a school board opening. Tina McIntyre submitted her resignation effective January 1. Mrs. McIntyre has been an outstanding board member serving our community since 2018. I know I speak for everyone here. We're grateful to Tina for her service and her passion for students and this community. Her resignation opens a position on the board and also requires election of a new board president. The board expects to appoint a new member at the January 28th meeting, after which an election for board president will be conducted. Interested candidates, you need to submit a letter of interest and a resume to the vice president, Mr. Jay Strunk, and that should be received in the district office no later than January 23rd. And you can check our website for the mailing information. And that's all I have.
Thank you. I'd like to second the thank you to all of the staff who helped with the migration to the new financial system. I think to take time during a holiday break to make sure that the district is operating correctly and fairly, and that people are getting paid right, is commendable. So if you're here or you're listening to the meeting, thank you for putting in that time and for your passion towards the district. Agenda item number 7, approval of minutes.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve 7-1, 7-2, and 7-3.
We have a motion to approve 7-1, 7-2, and 7-3, the minutes. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, no? Motion carries. Agenda item number 8, granting of orders.
I'd like to make a motion that we pay invoices in the amount of $805,374.82 for November 2024 as presented.
Motion and
That
a
was a
second.
tie.
to approve the invoices for November 2024. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. 8.2, granting of orders for December 2024.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the payment of invoices in the amount of $1,886,608.69 for December 2024 as presented.
We have a motion and second to approve the invoices for December 2024. Those in favor? We have a motion to combine 8.2 and 8.3. Is there a second? Hearing no second.
I'd like to make a motion under 9, the personnel, to combine and approve 9.1 through 9.10.
We have a motion and a second to combine all. So it's a motion to combine and approve personnel items 9.1 through 9.10. Those in favor, aye? Opposed, no? Motion carries. Patty?
A comment as well, so.
Okay, I'll be quick. I would just like to congratulate Mr. Steve Palladino for being our middle school principal. I mean, I've known him a long time. What a great fit it's going to be.
That was going to be my comment as well, so.
Steve, I
My kids
saw-
are very
saw the
happy
wave.
that
Is
you're
there anything
becoming
you want to
principal,
say?
so you became principal.
Do
So.
you want to comment?
By the opportunity. As many of you guys know, Pottsgrove grad. I'm a member of the community here. I lived in Pottsgrove pretty much the majority of my whole life. Taught in the district, have been the assistant principal in the district, made many great relationships over the years. So I'm absolutely humbled. I'm excited, ready for the transition to start in February. So thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Agenda item 10, action items, business. We have a 10-1 and a 10-2 confidential sentinel agreements for 2 different students.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve 10-1 and 10-2 together.
We have a motion and a second to approve 10-1 and 10-2. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The motion carries. Agenda item number 11, action items, education. 11.1, student-teacher placement.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve 11.1, the student-teacher replacement.
Motion and a second to approve 11.1. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Moves us to 11.2, Victim Services Center of Montgomery County.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve 11.2 with an explanation for the community, please.
I can give the explanation. Oh, yeah, we do need a second, sorry. And, yeah, well, I just wanted to make a comment. My daughter works for Victim Services. When she saw that Pottsgrove finally had her, not her, her boss who does the kindergarten and the elementary school, but when she saw that finally Victim Services was on the agenda, she was really excited. She really, really wants to see it in the middle school and the high school. She said especially the middle school because that's the age you need to talk to these kids. She said she really wished she had had something like this when she was in middle school because she said when she starts talking to the middle schoolers and telling them about the things they should not have on their phones, she said the look of shock on their faces, like just, wait, what, oh no. And they start going in, they start deleting pictures and stuff like that because they don't realize how illegal it is to have things like that on their phones. But she loves what she does, and she's thrilled that Pottsgrove has come on board, and now she's just waiting for middle school and high school.
Yes, so we're equally as thrilled to bring Victim Services of Montgomery County into the district. This proposal here is for them to come in. This is actually our school counselors. This was their advocacy. If many of you are involved in the advisory committee, they talked about it. What this is they're going to come in and do some lessons with our youngest learners, so K-3, and they're going to be talking about boundary setting, appropriate touching, and ways in which they should be advocating for themselves, how to find adults and get help when they might need to. So to your point, this is education that is needed to help all of our students, but starting at a young age. These lessons there'll be one lesson per classroom in these grades for 45 minutes each. Our counselors will be in the room, our teachers will too. And there's also education or communication with families so they know what this is about, opportunity for families if they are interested to review the curriculum, see what's going to be taught, and to opt out, because there might be some who do want to opt out. But yes, to echo what you shared, this is important. We have to empower and educate our youth, and starting at these young ages, and this is the beginning of a partnership we hope to expand into the older ages too. Any questions that you all have about it further?
I just wanted to mention, too, that this is in almost all of the neighboring school districts also. She's in Boyertown, she's in PV, Springford. I mean, they're everywhere. So, and she covers western Montgomery County, so they do cover the entire county, but she was lucky and got western Montgomery County, so.
And you'll see there is no cost for this, but they are asking for a small donation of $500. So that would be the only piece. And of course, that money goes back into the programs and services that they provide across the county. So thank you.
They are a nonprofit. They also run the rape hotline. And every employee has to man the hotline at some point. So my daughter is often called out at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to a hospital to accompany someone who has reported sexual assault or sexual abuse, and she walks them through the process. And that is every employee, well, not every employee, but even if that's not her job, her day job, but because she works in the education department, she does put in her time doing that too. So it's a lot. They do really good work there.
Thank you, Ashley and Dr. Lucas. So we have a motion and a second to approve 11.
I don't know that we ever got a second. Oh, Bill did? Okay.
11.1 student teacher placement and 11.2 the Victim Services Center contract. Those in favor, aye? Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Moves us to 11.3 conference attendance.
I would like to make a motion, we approve 11.3 through 11.6. Combine the conferences.
Motion and a second to approve 11.3 through 11.6 conference attendance. In favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Agenda item number 12, policies. I believe there are 14 policies there that are ready for approval.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, I would just like to note that policies 103, 103.3, and 104, which were included on the published agenda, have been removed. And the reason for that is on last Thursday, January 9th, the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Kentucky entered a memorandum opinion and order vacating the 2024 Title IX regulations. Your proposed policies, we're implementing those regulations. They've now been voided, so we're not moving forward with those changes.
Thank you. So then to be clear, we have for approval here policy 247 hazing, 252 dating violence, 317.1 educator misconduct, 436 personal necessity leave, 439 uncompensated leave, 536 personal necessity leave, 539 uncompensated leave, 807 opening exercises, moment of silence and flag displays, 824, maintaining professional adult student boundaries. 815.1, artificial intelligence, and policy 234, pregnant parenting for married students.
I'm sorry, I was just, excuse me, Dr. Lucas just confirmed that, in fact, all the policies except for policy 815.1, artificial intelligence, included revisions that were to address the requirements under the 2024 Title IX regulations. So the only policy that we're approving this evening would be policy 8.1, 815.1, and I apologize for that, my mistake earlier.
Okay, so we're deleting all 13 of the policies except for 815.1, artificial intelligence. Do we need a motion, or we have a motion?
Just to clarify, Ms. Grimm, you made the motion to accept that revision? And okay, thank you.
So we have a motion and a second to approve policy 815.1, artificial intelligence. Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Moves us to agenda item 13, report of the Joint Operating Committee.
They vacated it, they just said, not title, but just the new regulations, they voided that. So Title IX still.
The Western Montgomery Career and Technology Center Joint Operating Committee met on Monday, January 6th at 7 p.m. The regular meeting was preceded by a reorganization meeting, much as we have with the school board. At that reorganization meeting, Keith McCarrick, who is from Upper Perk, was elected as the Joint Operating Committee chairperson for a one-year term, and Karen Weingarten from Springford was elected as the vice chairperson for the JOC for a one-year term. That reorganization meeting ended, and we continued with the regular meeting of the Joint Operating Committee. At first, the first agenda item was a discussion of the proposed budget for 2025-2026. The budget that was proposed includes an increase of 6.55% for a total of $564,213 for 25-26, for a proposed total budget of $9,175,601. Of that increase, 3.9%, or $342,125, will be paid as a result of increases in revenues in state and federal subsidies that the Technical Center is receiving. This tends to be a trend right now in the United States, that there's a lot of attention given to technical centers, and the states and the federal government are beginning to increase the amount of money they're giving for that support. That leaves a $222,088 increase to the three participating school districts, which is 2.6%. There is a formula that's used to figure out how much each school district pays that is called average daily membership, or ADM, which is based on a 5-year average. So based on that formula, if that increase went through, the increase to Pottsgrove School District would be $31,773, or 1.9% increase in our budget, for a total of $1,664,376. Springford, who has seen a decrease in students at the Technical Center, would see a decrease of $57,002, or a decrease of 2.1% for a total of their budget of $2,614,468. And Upper Perk, who has had an increase in students there over that 5-year average, would see an increase of $247,318, or 9.8%, for a total to the district of $2,759,958. The largest of the proposed increases is $100,000 for the hiring of an assistant principal, and $100,000 for a market value adjustment, which is intended to bring all of the administration salaries up to the average salary of the benchmarking groups. Of note, Pottsgrove School District, the 3 members of the JOC, Chuck Nippert, Patty Grimm, and myself, asked for a meeting with our superintendent to discuss the budget And since then, we have expressed or are expressing our concerns with the budget to the full JOC and asking for a further budget meeting to go over those details and explain that. Chuck, Patty, I don't know if there's anything you want to add there.
No, thank you. But once we get that all done and we sit down and we talk to the JOC, which we're hoping to get all 9 members together, we'll come back and report back on the budget because we have some concerns. We won't bore you now.
You'll bore us later?
Later.
Okay.
Yeah, this is basically a question of clarification of the budget to bring it more in line with the way we present our budget and the way other districts present the budget. JOC is a different organization, and from my standpoint, it's very confusing to try and go from JOC's budget to ours, which is much more detailed, and you can get a finer, as most of you know who've done this before, you get a finer detailed report, which gives us much more better information and makes our input to the JOC much more effective. At least that's my opinion.
Thank you, Chuck. Next on the JOC agenda was administrative updates. The superintendent of record for the Western Center, Robert Rizzo, who's also superintendent of Springford, reported that the budget progress to date looks good and said the proposed addition of an assistant principal is supported by the superintendents, especially because of the need for professional development of the newer teachers. There's been newer teacher hiring at the technical center, and different than a regular school district, a technical center can hire a technical professional who is not certified as a teacher, and they are given a certain amount of time to pick up that certification. So you have technical professionals who come in and may be their first time working with high school age students. And they need that hands-on help to make that adjustment from the technical knowledge they have to sharing that technical knowledge with 14, 15, and 16-year-olds. Excuse me? With Temple does that, all right. Next, the principal of the Western Center, Craig Robinson, reported that the December 4th open house was successful and that the Western Center has received 93 applicants to date for 25-26. He said that's slightly higher than this time last year, and that applicant window closes on March 15th. We did not get data as to a breakdown of those applicants by district, so we don't at that time have that to share. There were 46 students at the Western Center selected as Student of the Quarter for the first quarter of 24-25. Of those 46 students, 15% or 7 of them were Pottsgrove students. Cecilia and Adam, these people may be listening. It's highly likely they're not listening to the board meeting. I'd like to read the names of the Pottsgrove students. I think you have a copy of the report, so if you see them, just let them know that we recognize them at the board meeting in terms of that for being recognized as student of the first quarter for the Western Center. Dillian Meeker, who is in automotive technology, a 2027 graduate. Levi Wolfgang in the carpentry program, a 2027 graduate. Isaiah Mazamore, commercial art, a 2025 graduate. Amalia Carter, cosmetology, a 2028 graduate. Amani Brinson, health science technology, graduates in 2027. Zachary Strunk in sports medicine, a 2025 graduate. And Shauna Kierling in Curlins, thank you, in the welding program, a 2026 graduate. If you know those students, at least tell them that we offered them their congratulations. Many times with the work that the kids do at the Western Center is recognized at the Western Center, and not a lot is known about it back here at home base. Next announcement was that the Skills USA District Competition is being held at the Western Center this year from February 4 to 7, 2025. Because of the size of that competition and also the size of the culinary program is held earlier than that on January 22. This is a competition that students from all technical centers gather together for and receive recognition for kind of like best in program kind of thing with what they do. The JOC Policy Committee presented the first reading of 9 policies: pregnant marriage students, hazing, bullying, cyberbullying, dating violence, educator misconduct, personal necessity needs, uncompensated leave, records management, and maintaining professional adult and student boundaries. As you can see, many of these policies are right in line with the same policies that our policy committee and this board is looking at. So they seem to be in sync. 2 other actions from the Western Center, the JOC meeting. The center is starting an American Welding Society student organization. It's the first that they have had this. And lastly, the Western Center is purchasing a new school van. We paid for primarily from the proceeds of a recent auction. Cost of the van is $60,911. The next JOC meeting is Monday, February 3, 2025 at 7 o'clock. For board members here and for those listening, like a school board meeting, this is a public meeting. So even if you don't sit on the JOC and you're interested in what's going on, want to hear that, you are more than welcome to be there and to attend those meetings. It is and should be open to the public. Any questions on the Western Center report or any additions from Patty or Chuck?
The only addition I was going to say, we just received an email that we received $85,000 grant money, and we're going to purchase a robotic welder. So that's fantastic, so.
Thank you. Thank you, Patty. Moves us to agenda item 14, committee items. This is approval of the committee groups for the 2025-26 school year, or I should say 24-25 school year.
Just a quick comment. Jay, I think the board and I personally owe Jay a huge debt of thanks for the work he puts into giving these very complete reports. You know, and I'm impressed by the work that he's putting in on this. And I think the board here owes him a large debt of thanks for his effort.
You know, for what we're getting paid, you couldn't give enough effort. Thank you. Where are we? Committee items. It is approval of the committee appointments for the school term.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve the committee appointments 14.1.
Motion is second to approve the committee appointments. In favor, aye. Opposed, no. This is something that will probably be revisited once we get a new board member and appoint a president, or elect a president, I should say, because with Tina's resignation, there are openings on some of the committees. They are sparse, and it's something that while we're approving it, will probably be revisited, or should be revisited. Moves us to agenda item 14.2, approval of the Operations Facility Committee meetings of November 12th.
I'd like to make a motion, we combine and approve 14.2 through 14.5, which would also include the Curriculum, Technology Committee minutes, Policy Committee minutes, and the Athletic Committee minutes.
Thank you. We have a recommendation and a second to approve the committee meeting minutes for 14.2 through 14.5. Those in favor, aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. Ron, I didn't mention this, but I see you sitting there. It's nice to have you back at the table.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for all you've done with your help with getting the records and stuff in order. Agenda item 15, new business. I'm pausing to see how we do this. We go around do I ask others for new business first or go around the table? You're going to say it's my... Usually. Go around the table. So, new business. Let's start with Chuck.
No new business.
Thank you, Chuck. Tanya?
No new business.
Okay, and if there was any? Anik? Patty?
Well, I'd like to say I am so happy to see Mr. Lenke back. I saw him yesterday at the school, and just so you know, it felt everywhere. And welcome back.
Yeah, I've been hearing that quite a bit.
Yes, have you, Good, 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 good. That's all I have.
Thank you. Jay, my wife Denise and I went for the second time in a row to the coffee house. Was that Friday? Is that when that was? It was last Friday. And I just thoroughly enjoy it, to see students who are musically inclined. It's a different type of student, and to see them hanging together and the chance to perform. I saw Dr. Finner there, and he asked me why I was there. I said to him I was one of these kids. Throughout high school, I always played in a rock band. I played drums, and I know what it's like to be part of that group, and also what it's like to not be part of the other groups that are outside. The uniqueness that comes with the musically talented people. So it's nice that Pottsgrove sponsors that with the coffee house, and we very much enjoyed ourselves, although the creamer was too sweet. If I wanted to, it was a flavored creamer. But just to see the talent that exists within this small district, the musical talent, is just touching. Dr. Finnerty, I guess I can go.
No, nothing for me, thank you.
He did not perform at the coffee house, in spite people asking him to. He's just a very shy man. But one of these years, he will be there with his guitar, and you'll hear the guitar solo in Hotel California coming from the guy. It was done with two guitars. He can play it both on one guitar. Ashley, any new business?
No.
Bill, new business? No. Jim, any new business? Cecilia and Adam, what's going on?
I got into 6 schools so far. Yeah, thank you.
You're not going to go to all of them.
No. So I'm going for pre-med. I want to either be a nurse practitioner or go to be a doctor. I'm thinking currently my top 3 are Penn State, Pitt, and Jefferson. I'm a Questbridge finalist for, so that gave me the opportunity to apply for Ivy League schools, and they meet 100% of your financial aid. So I think that's also something that we could also talk about more in the high school through the counselors. I feel like we should have at least an assembly on it to make more kids known about it. Basically, it's an application that you apply online. You have to have 2 letters of recommendation, and it's a whole process. There are 7,000 finalists in the country, I think. There's 2 different types of applications. So there's the matched scholarship. So that's where you match to a school, which is binding, of course, but then they give you a full ride. And then the other is regular decision. So you get to apply to multiple Ivy League schools, and they give you a bunch of money to go there. I'm currently waiting to hear back from my top school. My dream school is Penn. So that's what I'm waiting to hear back from, but that's my update for college so far.
Thank you. And Adam, how are things with you?
Things are going pretty smooth. We got midterms coming up, so I've been studying, and then I need to talk to Mr. Finnerty about this, but I should have a meeting coming up soon. Sorry, I don't know if I should talk about this separate or.
So Adam is interested in the inner workings of politics. So I reached out to some of our local politicians, and Representative Racy has been gracious in granting access, and I think we're arranging a meeting this Friday, I think. Yeah, I need to confirm that. But
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I'm excited for that if it works out. But yeah, that's what I've been up to.
So Adam, what's your win-loss record with the debate so far?
We've actually only had one meeting because snow days have interrupted like everything. Because Miss Scott also does unified bocce, so it's been a really busy season for her.
So with the one meeting, did you debate?
I actually was just like jurisdiction, like I was deciding the winner. I could tell you one of the debates if you want. It was Minecraft versus Roblox.
Minecraft versus what?
Versus Roblox. So, yeah.
And in your opinion, which one?
If we're talking in terms of argument and counter argument, I think they tied, but I think Roblox had it in the end. So,
That would have been my pick too. Why is that funny? I play both. Leads us, thank you for the updates. It leads us to agenda item 16, public comment. This can be on anything, and it's not limited to the agenda items, although it is limited to 2 minutes if you have it, maybe 2:01. Terry is up for a public comment. She's back.
I was really excited, and I meant to include this in my presentation, so I apologize that I forgot. But we have had 3 students from the high school reach out to us at the pre-K program to come and do the job shadowing. So 2 of them have come. Another one is in the process of setting that up. So we are welcoming any of our high school students interested in early childhood education to come down and hang out with us. But I wanted to share that was happening because it was a pretty exciting thing.
I'm beginning to see this retirement getting postponed.
I don't think so.
Thank you, Terry. Is there any other public comment? Anything online? That leads us to adjournment. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? See you at the next meeting is on the 28th.